I thought I met my twin flame. He spoke my soul's language. He mirrored my deepest, darkest wounds. He said he could feel my energy before I even said a word. It felt like fate. But fate doesn't violate your boundaries. A twin flame doesn't disappear when you cry. And what I thought was divine was just a mirror held up by someone who wasn't ready to meet me. He echoed my trauma, not my truth. And I almost gave everything to a man who only wanted to see his reflection, not me. This is for anyone who's been love-bombed in the name of spirit. Anyone who's mistaken love for passion, pain for intensity. Anyone who's still trying to figure out, was it real? Or was that intensity all just familiar? Hey, Phoenix says, I want to talk about a really important topic today that I don't think there's enough videos on, about the twin flame community and how these spiritual narcissists are using this sacred teaching to violate and get some of us entrapped with them. And I'm making this video because even though I'm aware of these things, I fell into this. And for me, it looked like love. It sounded like fate. It felt like a soul deep connection with someone who really saw me, and I saw them. And we really did for a minute. I do believe that we did. But even still, it wasn't love. This is what's called a trauma echo. He mirrored me. Our pain was very much the same. We both had awful childhoods. We both had spiritual gifts. We both had magic. We even both had altars. And I've never experienced someone like that who is so similar to me in so many ways. It felt like the universe had brought me someone who really understood me and who could help me heal on every level. But then, when I needed emotional safety, he disappeared. And he pulled the rug out from under me. When I set a boundary, he crossed it. He tested it. And he did this on purpose. And when I said I'm scared, he said, if you don't believe me, then I have to go. That's not love. That's manipulation. What is a trauma echo? A trauma echo is someone reflects your wounds, not your healing. It may feel like a soulmate or a twin flame, but they can't really meet you in safety. They'll give you intensity, but they won't give you intimacy. They'll give you drama, but not real devotion. They'll speak the spiritual language, but not your emotional truth. And how to tell if it's not real, even if it feels like it. There's a fast attachment right away. There's love bombing. There's soul talk. Feelings of, I've known you before in a past life. I know we're meant to be together. Spiritual language with no accountability uses words like, you're my mirror, you're my flame, you're the light I've been waiting for all my life. But then they avoid real conflict and real repair. They won't come into a real sense of repair with you. And then they'll guilt trip you, and then they'll flip the script. If you express any kind of concern, or if you start expressing boundaries, or if you want them to take accountability, they'll accuse you of not trusting them enough and not forgiving them. And they may even have dangerous associations. Like, he had people in his life that would try to cause me harm, and he didn't protect me from them. And he didn't clarify what had happened either. And also one of his altars was very dangerous, and he told me it was dangerous. And so when I made the connections to that altar, he didn't want to take accountability for that either. And then once you try to get them to grow with you, they will discard you. They'll stop mirroring you, and they'll just drop it. They'll be like, if you can't trust me, if you can't forgive me, then, I have to go. And that's not a real twin flame bond. Your true twin flame will want to meet you always. And this is the trap of spiritual narcissism. Some men will lead with their vulnerability. They'll show you all their shadows, all their darkness. But it's meant to hook you. And they'll make you feel like your light is the only thing that can save them. He told me things like, I've been waiting for someone like you my whole life with your light. And that really hooked me. He showed me all his vulnerabilities. He showed me his trauma. And that disarmed me. It really disarmed me in the beginning. And I thought I was walking next to someone in our shadows together, but really I was being wrapped up in a false sense of security, that we were going to make this healing journey together, but it wasn't really like that. I thought if I loved him that he would be able to rise with me, but he didn't rise. He stayed broken. And then he started blaming me for not being trusting enough to fix him. And the real hook is his magic was real. He was real. But that doesn't make it safe. We did real magic together. The energy work was real, and it was really intense, and the rituals were real. His power had potent, but it was unhealed. And it lit me up and it hooked me, but it still wasn't safe. And I longed for that intimacy. Oh, what he gave me. It filled me up in a way I hadn't been filled up in a really, really long time. And that was the dangerous part. Even the magic, even if it's real, it can be misused. Even a beautiful soul. Oh my gosh, he is one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen in my life. It can still come from a place of harm. Even if you're meant to cross paths with someone, it doesn't mean you're meant to stay. Maybe the biggest lesson is loving, but still walking away with yourself. The red flag is when vulnerability can become a weapon. If someone shows you their pain just to gain trust, and someone uses that trust to avoid growth, it's not intimacy. It's manipulation. He showed me his shadows first, not to heal it, but to see if I would stay in spite of it. And I did. Not for long, but I did. Not because I was weak, because I thought that's what love does. I thought the deeper I went with him that he'd be able to meet me there, but he couldn't. So some of the things he did to hook me, he told me, we were together in a past life. He had this past life where he was with this woman who he said was me, and that we were together and meant to be together, and that in a past life I had sacrificed myself so that he could live. Like we were in some type of ritual, magic ritual. And we were both going to be sacrificed. But I chose to sacrifice myself so he could live. And he even wrapped it deeper. I have this birthmark. Okay? I'll see if I can show you. Right there is my birthmark. So he took my birthmark and he's like, you know, that's where Lydia sacrificed herself. She got stabbed in that spot. And she died so that I could live. And you know, I was thinking about that and I'm like, this feels weird. It just felt wrong on every level. And like it was meant to hook me and to make me feel like I needed to stay in that sacrifice energy for him. But I wasn't going to do that. You know, whether I did that in a past life, you know, I'm saying my destiny in this life is to not make that sacrifice anymore, to save myself. That's what I'm choosing. So if you're watching this and you're wondering if you're also stuck in something that feels so intense and you don't know whether this is your twin flame or just the next lesson in your life, this very well may be the next lesson in your spiritual path. You may be questioning if it was real and if it was sacred and if it was true. And it probably was. But that doesn't mean you're meant to stay. That doesn't mean that this person is your twin. They may just be mirroring your wounds. And they may just be turning your empathy into a trap. You don't need someone who reflects your wounds. You don't need someone to protect you. You deserve your own safety, your own intimacy, your own real spiritual rescue. Sometimes the lesson is being able to walk away and save yourself. Now, if this helped you, I would like you to share this because I know I'm not the only woman that can be trapped in these spiritual narcissisms and with these spiritual narcissists. And I know that there's plenty of people that use this twin flame journey and these twin flame connections to trap some of us because we long for that so much. We want it in our lives. You know, we want that true intimacy and connection, but not like this. So share this with someone who you know might be going through something similar because we need to wake up. You know, these are soul ties that we don't need to be stuck in these trauma echoes. These lessons are meant to come into our lives and to help us grow and to help us come out of our own trapped traumas. So let us rise together. Thank you, Phoenixes. I hope this has helped someone. All right, let's keep rising. Keep doing our own spiritual journey and our own spiritual path. We don't really need someone to walk with us. And that's the real truth here. We got this all on our own. Love yous.